Sportscast Sports Talk 101 on digital radio, on the app, on your smart speaker, on Twitter, YouTube, Twitch.tv, and Facebook. Sportscast Sports Talk 101.
Discuss, debate, entertain, and loud.
Sportscast Sports Talk 101.
It is Sports Talk.
Turn my volume down.
We're
live. Holy crap.
Live.
I think it's been 2 weeks since we were last on here.
No, man. You were in a snowstorm. Good to see that you made it through.
Snow, tornadoes. God, it was everything. I've been praying. Every time there's a storm, I fucking sit there and I pray to Valhalla and the gods and the Norse ones, any of them I can think of, that a tree will fall on my truck so I can get a new one. It never happens. So I might have to pray to the man upstairs and say, look, I'll go to church this time. If you can just crush my truck so I can get the loan paid off and you guys can, and they can pay me a new one. Whew, man, NFL's been kind of empty this week, so we're not worried about that. There's been a little bit of news sprinkling here and there, but we don't got time for that. We got a whole new league that just started up, and another league is second year, which is unusual because these upstart leagues usually have, in the past, the tendency is a one and done. You know, so maybe Jerry Jones is
realize they don't have money in the bank. How are we going to pay him? We ain't got no money in the bank.
You know, or Jerry Jones had something to do with it because, you know, they all know about the one and done in Dallas.
Oh, damn. Talking about the USFL, folks.
Yes.
Football League. Oh, man. I have to say I was really impressed with the first game.
Yeah, I was too. It was a lot of fun to watch. I wasn't sure initially, but offense, some of them were exciting. Quarterback play was I think can get better. I get 3 weeks is a very short amount of time for a new league to start up, and you don't know your players, you don't know how to gel with people. Defense was awesome. Running game, great. I'm a defensive player, so I loved watching.
Offensive line was holes, man. It was gaps, holes. I could have ran through the A gap. I could have ran.
Oh my god!
Touchdowns.
Jerome Bettis would have had a field day with those kind of holes.
Yeah, he would. But
Ray, you know who else? Ray Lewis would have had another one.
Yeah, he would. Yeah, he would.
Those quarterbacks up. Oh man, it was. Yeah, I was impressed with it. I liked. The commentary, I think, needs to get better with some of the games.
What did you think about the drones and the head cams?
Oh my god, the head cam! You know what it reminded the head cam, the first person head cam reminded me. It brought back memories of Madden when they had that feature in Madden.
I remember.
Oh my god, yeah. It's. Yeah. I think the biggest thing that I looked at with this league was I wanted to see the new features, the new things they added. I think the field goal thing for 3 points is pretty interesting, but I was also watching the refs because I know I'm an NFL guy. The refs, that's basically when a team the refs pretty much don't know what the fuck they're doing. Excuse my French. They don't know what the hell they're doing in the NFL. So I was very curious to see if we were going to see some bad calls galore in the USFL, and for the most part, they did a pretty good job. Now, some of the refs, I don't know where they got them because they were jacked bigger than some of the players on the teams. There were a few of them that looked like they were about to bust out of their ref uniform.
What did you think about some of the kicking? Holy cow. There was one guy, he just missed, and I thought for sure that he was going to get benched, and the coach let him get one last kick and won the game. But
one of them was a soccer player. Never played football in his life, but he was. I mean, hey, you know, you obviously know if you play soccer, he's got a leg. I mean, you just got to train, you know, to aim and stuff. Some of those kickoffs were fucking terrible. I mean, they got to get better on now. And like I said, we don't know how long a lot of these players. Yeah, I know that they have college experience. A lot of the guys have NFL experience, but how long have they been out of the game? We know one of the quarterbacks was on the Vikings last year, but we really don't know. No. Some of them could have been out. You know, you guys are rusty.
Yeah.
It's part of the league.
You got to tune it. So the very, very first touchdown, this poor kid, he got knocked, the wind knocked out of him. and everybody was celebrating. They're grabbing the ball. Hey, this is the first football of the new league. Da 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 da. And this guy is in pain. He was hurt.
Yeah,
But
it was.
he held on to the ball. And I'm talking about the first game was the New Jersey Generals versus the Birmingham Stallions. First off, all the South Division teams won, and all the North Division teams lost. The South won.
They finally did it. Just kidding, folks. Don't take that as political. I'm just stating the fact the Southern teams finally did something.
Ron says, "Bring back the XFL. It's coming, man. XFL is coming.
Next year. Next year it'll be here. It will be here next year." Oh man, but yeah, it's a lot of fun to watch. Make sure you do so. It's nice though because we've got like I'm so used to like the only times you get Friday and Saturday games is either college, high school, or the NFL. You only get that in the December and then January. Now we get a professional league on Friday night. We get Saturday games. We get some Sunday games sprinkled in there. I'm okay with it. I'm hoping that by next year they'll have some additional stadiums, or the teams will get to play in their home states, because I think that will definitely boost, the fan base a little bit more. But your early team, we saw what happened with the last upstart league that fell apart because they went bankrupt. And I don't know if it was financing, but you're paying for teams to be in stadiums in every city, traveling expenses, all of that. Can you look how that league wouldn't have even lasted as long as it did nowadays with gas prices so freaking expensive?
Right. So I heard. I read somewhere where the players are getting something like $4,500 a week. So and then they get incentives, they get their bonuses and stuff. They get
the league doesn't want as a player, I would be like, oh God, man, I'd rather. Can I get more? But also, if you haven't played professional in a while, or you were in college, you never got to make it to the pros, and let's just say you were working at Walmart or a grocery store, or you're not doing anything, you're a stay-at-home dad, and then you get a call up and you get picked. Shit, I'd take it. Can you hire me? I can do. I don't know what I can do for your team, but $500 a week.
You got one of them is Lynch, who I don't know if you guys remember, but he was quarterback, I think, on the Broncos, and he didn't get no play time. That's another thing. These guys are good, but if you got like superstar quarterbacks, you're not going to get no play time, especially if you're a third string quarterback or a second string quarterback.
Yeah,
stars get all the get the money and the more play time.
Well, yeah, and I think they should. Some of these guys I think eventually they're just going to be grateful. Hey, look, I get to play a game I love. Yeah, I could. Whether I made it in the NFL, maybe they didn't. They got cut. They went back to home. They didn't think they'd get a call, and now they're back playing professional football on TV. It's a win anyway. It's a win for some of these guys that still want to play football but aren't at the level they need to be, or skills, whatever, to be in the NFL, or just weren't able to make it at all.
Hey, $10 tickets, kids are free. Sign me up.
Hell yeah! I'm like, and you're part of a upstart league. Like that's the other thing. You have not, even if it was a fail, you're still notched in the history books. That's the way to look. It's always the way to look at it on a positive note.
Right. I agree. So the first game, actually, both quarterbacks went down, and it was the backup quarterbacks that.
Oh yeah, I know.
Playing. There was Perez. He went down. I saw when he went down. Yeah, I got.
I'm gonna pull well, that is definitely not the right website.
Yeah, Perez. He completed 13 of 18. His percentage was 72.2. Did 143 yards, average 7.9. He got 2 TDs. QBR was 132.4. He was doing great, but he got taken out. So then you had D. Johnson came in, and he was more running, than anything. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up as well. See what we can get here.
Let's see.
All right, so I think, like I said, it did the main takeaway. It's, if you're expecting it to be on par with the NFL, your
Yeah.
your
Don't do that.
expectations need to come like down here. But I
Don't do
wouldn't
that.
say like at the ground level, but there are a lot of things that, like I said, they've got a lot of fresh ideas. The different camera angles and the head cam,
Yeah.
listening to the players way more than you do in the NFL. But I swear, I think the first person view is by far my favorite mode. Like I said, I love football. I love video games. I like playing football video games like Madden, and that was the first thing I thought of when I saw that. I was like,
I'm like,
did
wait a minute, is that a
is
drone on the field? And I mean, they get all close. The drone gets real close
yeah,
up.
it is
It is
crazy.
crazy.
So the biggest thing that they said was pass defense. And look, like I said, I'm a defense. I played defense in high school. I was going to play it in college before knees said, no, you're not. Passing was, for the most part, was in the trash can. But it was on par with the defense. The quarterbacks combined to complete just 61% of their passes for fewer than 6 yards per attempt, and that's all of the quarterbacks. That's terrible. Could you imagine if that was in the NFL? Oh my! They'd fire half the damn league.
And see, that's why you can't look at it through NFL eyes, man. This is
right. But the other thing they said, most of the quarterbacks had accuracy issues when they were in the NFL. So it's not to be like, you shouldn't be shocked. Oh my God, these quarterbacks are terrible. They had the same problem there. It doesn't hurt that you're in a different system. They might be able to get better. There were a lot of poorly timed throws, interceptions, defensive touchdowns. Not that I'm against that. I like to see the defensive touchdowns.
A pick six. There was a pick six. Awesome.
The other thing I liked was the kickoffs. We actually got to see kickoff returns. I don't remember seeing that often in the NFL. Right. I just was like, oh, it brings back fond memories of Devin Hester, watching him just tear apart a special teams as he gets a touchdown. Now, will we see a special teams touchdown? I hope so. Those are always fun to watch. Yeah. So competition is there. The competition is there, though. They were saying, what was it?
I saw some great tight ends, man.
3 of the 4 games ended within a touchdown, and rarely were any of the games outside of a touchdown margin. That you don't see in the. Does USFL allow pass interference? Rob, what do you think this is? The NFL? They don't allow that kind of nonsense.
Oh, my goodness.
Don't worry, Ron. They will probably get a rule. Somebody in the league, the USFL, will get a rule named after them, or get a penalty call that will be infamous with them, just like the NFL has with the Packers and the Cowboys, and a few others.
Right.
But yeah, the Generals and the Stallions changed the leads 3 times in the fourth quarter. Right. That's awesome. That's what you want to see. So not only were they putting the points up, but you had that back and forth, which is another perk.
Yeah. I think it got really good, like, third and fourth quarter. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, the second half was the Breakers and the Stars rotated between leads and ties 4 times in the second half. So it seemed as the games went on, they started to get a feel for things and the comfortability a little bit better. So, which, to be expected. First game of how is that any different in the NFL? First game of the season?
There was a rain delay.
Oh my God, yeah. But that could also, we could probably see that being more often, though, as it starts to get warmer down. It's in Alabama, but that's the one negative thing about having all of your games in one place.
Right.
Weather is going to be a factor, I think that, like as we were talking, the broadcast innovations, 100% success, I think.
So what did you think of Garrett broadcasting?
I can't stand him anyways. The first game I tuned into, there was a guy that was from the NFL on Fox, one that was on Fox. I can't remember his name, but I recognized him. Okay. I did listen to Garrett but I can't stand him because he's an idiot.
God.
Well, I watched him for years keep a job in Dallas that he shouldn't have, and it was only because he's a yes man. So, I mean, could they could have at least tried to get, Tony Romo or somebody.
Right.
Hell, get Brett Favre. He ain't doing nothing. he's
So-
he's already down in that area anyways.
So did you pick a team yet that you want to?
I'm still torn. I'm still torn because I just don't know yet. I think I want to watch another game beforehand.
I actually, Birmingham Stallions and the Tampa Bay Bandits. Tampa Bay Bandits look pretty good, man. They got a good young quarterback. Matter of fact,
they're in Tampa, so
yeah.
Well, and it ain't like they ain't got winning teams down there already. For all we know, TB12 could be their training facility.
Yeah. Todd Haley, man, I got to give him props.
Yeah, that's his team will be the one that I follow. I think more than it. His and Jeff Fisher. I think what I'm going to. Fisher's team and Haley's team are my two that I'll probably watch the most. Mm-hmm. Fisher, I know Jeff Fisher lost his first game, but guess what? When he took over with the the Houston Oilers,
right.
He lost that game too. And look what happened. He ended up going on to winning championships and being a Hall of Fame coach. Or caliber coach. So I expect him to get better as well. Remember, he's probably been. I mean, he hasn't been like the guy working on a ranch who left football to go buy a freaking ranch out in Montana and doing all that ranch stuff or wherever the hell he bought it, and then come back to football. And then they got to show pictures of him with his shirt off and looking all rugged and shit. And I'm just like, get this shit out of here.
I'm gonna have to go with Kevin Sumlin's. The Gamblers look pretty damn good, man. They look good, and they won.
I'm gonna try.
Dude, they had a 73. Dude, they had a. Oh my God, Clayton Thorson had a day to forget, completing just 9 of 17 passes for 73 yards with a TD and an interception.
Okay. I'm trying to look up. Let's see. Highlights. This is the Generals versus Birmingham. I've got some highlights we can kind of skim through with Tampa Bay versus Pittsburgh, Stars and the Breakers, Houston and Michigan, and that's pretty much it, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there we go. Now I want to just get them started. I was thrilled, like the first game I watched, where you could see the stadium was packed. I was like, all right, there we go. And then but remember how, like if you're in Pittsburgh, and I listened to Pat McAfee talking about this, how many people from Pittsburgh are going to be driving all the way down to Alabama? Probably not a lot, but there will be some that will. Like, I will not
beginning, folks. I think this
exactly. I will say that I will not discredit fans that are going to be fans of this league driving to Alabama to go, because in the NFL you see fans from all over the place showing up every game.
You got to understand, they did this back in the 80s, so they don't want to shut down like they did back in the 80s. Which is a good ESPN story if you guys need to check that out about the old USFL.
Screen. I'm not going to share any audio because we don't need to. I don't want to get flagged or anything.
Right.
Let's see here. Whoop, there we are. All right, so this one here is the what is this? Houston Gamblers and the Panthers. I'm hoping it shows some. Just we're not going to watch all 13 minutes of this stuff either. I just wanted just to kind of skim through some of this stuff, but I'm just like normal football stuff. I mean, the tackling's getting there. I'm hoping they'll jump around, but
I got college vibes, man. When I was watching it, I got college vibes.
I mean, look, the tackling. Like I said, there you go. Some of this.
Look at that camera, and that's a drone. Like someone's got a drone flying around.
And stat wise, they're not bad. Like these kids are. Shea Patterson, 19-7 in 2 seasons as a Michigan QB. They're not. Some of these guys are not like out of football a long period of time. Right. You're going to see some.
Well, I
right
was
off.
looking like
Now, this was one of the later games, wasn't it?
What you talking about? The Houston, Michigan?
Yeah, Houston, Michigan. Wasn't that a later game?
I think that was the second game.
So was that the one that was the delayed start?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see the water. So as we all know, rain does affect things. But yeah, the views, these angles and things that they do with the cameras was just crazy. I'll just kind of show a highlight here. I'm going to try to jump through.
Yeah, Houston Gamblers won 17-12. Actually, they were dominating, and then Fisher.
Y'all see it now. Here, I'm going to go back just a minute here because I'm going to pause it once it does this completion. And what Ray was talking about with these drones, how close they get. Hold on. There you go, right there.
Right there. Look at that.
UFO?
Yeah.
No,
See,
that's a drone.
I would fan that thing out of the way.
Let's see. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of never do that.
Yeah, see, look at
they teach you that's football 101, folks. Never ever hold your arm out like that.
Hey, that's the number 1 pick in the USFL draft too.
Bravo, money well spent. I'm just kidding. But the stiff arms. I mean, look at this. Look,
turn around. Go.
So that's the Houston one. This was Philadelphia and the Stars, and the New Orleans.
Yeah.
Like I said, I like the angles. I like that you're seeing these guys on different networks, which I think is a plus. I think that's a positive thing to seeing these guys on their college. I don't know where the hell that's at.
They just got to put some butts in the seats around the stadium, man.
He need to do something with his hair. Maybe put a hat on because he looks like he's a greaser.
Bro, stop this. What is wrong with you?
There was a guy there was one of these players that, whoa, damn.
Yeah, I saw that. Man.
I told you, that grease.
He lucky that it wasn't his head that was rolling behind him.
Yeah, so it is fun to watch. Some of them, they're just like throwing, angling. But yeah, I think that I don't know who was more into the games, the defense or the offenses, because these defensive players were on point for the most part. I mean, they were just all over the place. Let's see.
What do you think about some of the uniforms?
You know what? I like them. It's different. I like that they're 4th and goal and you blow it, Scott. Way to go. No, I think there's nothing wrong with it. I like the difference.
I liked it.
Yeah, I mean, could be look at some of the NFL uniforms. I mean, so this is what we were talking about. These defenses are just burning through.
Yeah.
There were times I'm watching a defensive player get by and there's literally no coverage.
No coverage.
There's no blockers.
I was screaming. My wife was telling me to shut up. I'm like, Jesus. Oh my God.
Look, I mean, so they got and that's incomplete. So they gotta, but like I said, they gotta get better with it. And they will. Things will get better eventually. It just takes time with these leagues. The standard is not, let's expect this to be the NFL 2.0 or something. No, those uniforms, I'm just like,
Ooh, look at that. Look at that.
Yeah, but these views, I love this. I love this views that they do. Yeah. The first one, when I watched it, it threw me off for a bit, and I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
Boom.
But that 85 is a big dude. He just kind of barrels through. But these running backs were doing a hell of. The running game was way better.
You know what, man? Here, I seen one touchdown. We had all the defense players was on the right side, and there was nobody on the left side. So where the hell do you think the running back's going to run to?
Yeah,
he's going to run.
Now these guys, what uniform? What's that look like? Hold on.
Talk about the Niners.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was like, wait, are we watching a 49ers highlights? No. I do like, look, I do like this also. So you got in New Jersey, NJ, and you didn't got nothing special there, but bam.
That's Birmingham, Alabama.
I just like that because all I think of is one of those chefs that he would do whatever he would do, and it was just like, bam.
Hey, shout out
to that was, I mean,
and they won. You know what was weird? There was fans in the stands rooting for Birmingham, Alabama. So they had an advantage.
But look, these guys got some height too with the jumps. I mean, like I said, it's a lot of fun. That guy was lucky he didn't get called for.
Well, that guy,
his fans are like,
that guy, he actually caught I think that was the one that did he get?
Well,
yeah,
81.
He got the wind knocked out of him.
81 was just trying to pull that David Tyreek catch in his helmet type thing. Would be like a TO.
Look. There you go. There you go.
Oh!
All right, this is the hit. Now, look. Check this out. Yeah, our first touchdown.
He's like,
get on up, man. It's the first touchdown.
Get up and fight. He's like, I can't.
Somebody call my mama. Look, everybody's celebrating, right? Look, this man, they about to lay him out.
They just left him there.
Somebody call my mom.
Wait. Let's go back and watch this again. Hold on. Now we're gonna drop the speed once. There we go. Now, boom! It's even better. Now we'll do one more time.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna super slow mo this thing.
All right.
Okay. Well, let's get it normal speed for a minute.
Oh man!
There we go. Because this is going to be nasty and super slow mo. This is what the
first touchdown of the USFL.
And look, you can see he's coming up. Boom!
This was the first touchdown of the United States Football League, and that almost killed this guy. But he's all right.
I'm surprised they didn't call out the water boy on that one because he's about to need. My mama said.
Bobby Boucher. Yeah,
Bobby Boucher the shit out of that dude.
He actually stayed in the game and played. He got the wind knocked out of him. I was I jumped up. I said, "Woo, touchdown!"
And I think, like I said, the best thing is you're watching. Like literally, nobody is helping this poor kid, and I'm just like, "Why are y'all doing?"
Well, they're all happy. It's the first.
I know, woo, touchdown, but. Oh, let me come running back out. Once they saw the trainer, that's like, oh, okay.
And the quarterback, you know what? He went back. Yay! I'm like, dude, go help your man up, man.
I know, right? Up. He's like, hey, go help your buddy out there. Yeah, that was probably one of the best things I'd seen. And I'm not trying to take away that they killed that poor kid, but your team's got to stick with your players. When you see someone go down, come on now.
Yeah, you gotta help your man up. Shout out to Birmingham. They did win that game. The quarterbacks, both quarterbacks.
Who do you think was the best quarterback?
Jamar Smith.
Over Teamu.
You know what? I'll take that back. Teamu on the Bandits looked pretty damn good.
20. He finished the game 20 of 32, 185 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions.
That's if you want to know my team right now. That I'm Tampa Bay Bandits. They look good, man. They look.
They said if Teamu continues to grow throughout the season, he's winning the MVP.
He did have 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he did.
But
so there was that as well.
He's 20 to 32, 62.5 percentage. He did 185 passing yards, an average of 5.8, 1 TD, 2 interceptions, QBR of 62.6. But he looked good. Look, 20 32's
not too shabby.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, look, let's be honest. That's a better even with the 2 interceptions, the touchdown, the yards. I mean, that's better than some NFL quarterbacks I know. So
let's talk about Love. Did you see Love?
I missed that one, but yeah. Overall, it was
the Maulers.
Yeah, they mauled all right. Let me see what else we got here. Any other takeaways? I think really the special teams, the kicking is the only other thing really that didn't wow me. I will say the receiving team on the kickoffs, That I like. I like to be able to see that you can actually return a kickoff. But the kicking was the field goal attempts. That was god awful.
Yeah, it was.
All place kickers in the USFL 5 for 12 on field goal attempts this week for the week 1. That's terrible.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not going to help you. Those extra points.
Now, I will say, though, I do like the 3-point try that you can get, or the 3 points that you can get on the extra point. No, I don't think anybody did that, though, that I'm aware of.
There was no need. There was really, honestly, no need to.
You didn't really have a specific need for it.
Shout out to the small running backs, man. There's a lot of little speedsters out there.
They're what, like 5'8"? They're not like 5'8", but they're 5'10", 5'11". They're still tiny in comparison to some of these guys. These defensive guys that are running them down, about to just eat them up for breakfast, they're tiny, but they are quick. There were a few I watched. If they hit the hole the right way, they could have. I mean, if they had enough of a gap running to the outside, they could have been gone. I could see the running game getting better watching this go on, and I think it will. And that's what's going to be. That's my favorite thing about this is I like running games. I like close games. I don't like the point. Let's just see who can get the highest score. I like those games that are back and forth, and you battle it out with your defense. You run the ball, you throw. I like a mixture of everything, and this week at least showed all of that it can still be done.
And with that camera, that running back camera, you can watch in their eyes. You see the holes, see what they see running, following their line and getting through.
Yeah. So let's see, what are we at? We got 30 minutes. All right. Well, let's do. Yeah, we'll switch. We'll talk. We'll do XFL, and then we'll go over the. We'll end the show with to discuss our thoughts on the fan-controlled football season 2.0. So XFL has been making some news around the watering hole. Some good, some bad. Obviously, we know the guy that owns it is Dwayne the Rock Johnson. Now, with that, obviously, he has a much bigger purse with it when it comes to opening up the checkbook and signing off on things. Because obviously, we all know the Rock is loaded with money. Mr. Hollywood was able to sign some big names, a couple of big name coaches. They got 8 in XFL. I'm going to confuse XFL and the NFL a lot here with this one. There were some names that stood out to me among the 8 XFL coaching hires. 2 of them, most people should know. We had Wade Phillips and Jim Haslet.
Yeah.
Wade, I know he's been good. He's had a lot of coach. He's been around the NFL for a long time. I always said that in my mind, he was he was a great defensive coordinator. He wasn't the best head coach overall in the long run. Mm-hmm. But he was a defensive genius when it came to being a defensive coordinator. Now, it will be cool to see what he does there. Jim Haslet, another NFL guy that's been around, on the coaching circuit with the NFL for years. Another defensive guy. I think he's going to do good. Bob Stoops was another one. I'm not too familiar with him. Okay, he was a longtime Oklahoma Sooners coach.
Hines Wards and Rod Woodson, baby.
So the remainder of the NFL coach. So Bob Stoops was a longtime Oklahoma Sooners coach. He served a similar role in the XFL's pandemic-shortened 2020 season. The remainder of the coaches are all former NFL players. You got Terrell Buckley.
Yeah.
Hines Ward is a big name. That's another big name. Rod Woodson, another one. You got Reggie Barlow and Anthony Becht. I'm surprised they didn't get anybody else out there. I'm sure there were some other ones that would be like, I'll coach. I don't know what I'm doing, but bring me on team. So it'll be interesting to see with the players that are head coaches. How is that going to work?
Hines Ward, receiver, Hall of Fame receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
And Rod Woodson needs no introduction. We all know him.
I watched him live, when he was a Raider. When I went and seen the Raiders. Wow.
I think So those 2 in particular, I will watch them. Because I'll be curious, to see, because there's always the talk, in the NFL when quarterbacks retire, are they going to come and be a head coach? Are they going to be an offensive coordinator or a QB coach?
Mm-hmm.
We saw that in Tampa Bay.
Right.
Tampa's got a former quarterback that's a quarterback coach. Hell, he played quarterback against Tom Brady, and now he's his coach. So so I'll be interested to see how Ward does and Rod Woodson do. Individual team assignments will be made at a later date. The league hasn't yet announced whether it will play in local markets as it did in 2001 and 2020, or if it will operate from a central location. I'm hoping that it's in local markets. I really don't want to see another league.
You got a team. I mean, it's kind of weird if you have a Texas team and you're playing in Alabama. I mean, it's just
yeah. Or you're picking, an indoor state. So I'm hoping there's obviously. I think The Rock could use his personality and some of his other sway to get things done and get this in there, to local markets. They did also hire Dean Blandino as vice president of officiating and playing rules innovation. I believe he's returning to the XFL, so he already had this role once before. They also reached an exclusive agreement with the NFL Alumni Academy to help develop players, which that doesn't surprise me given who owns the league. If it was Vince McMahon still, that would never have happened. But with The Rock, I feel that played a part in this. There's been a lot of news with these two leagues, with this one, especially since the USFL already made its debut. So it had the stage. XFL gets to showcase what it can do next year. The league hired former Buffalo Bills executive Russ Brandon as the league president in November of last year. Football operation staff is now led by former New York Giants executive Mark Ross. Well, I don't know about that. That might be I don't know if I agree with that one. And former Bills general manager Doug Whaley. Man, you guys just bottom of the barrel there. Well,
ouch! Will you stop?
I'm just kidding. What else we got here? Let's see. So we went over Dean Blandino. So it'll be interesting to see if he changes anything. So he was the NFL's he served as the XFL's officiating chief in 2020. He had a stint in a similar role with the Alliance of American Football in 2019. He was the NFL's senior vice president of officiating from 2013 to 2017. The XFL's under new ownership following bankruptcy filing in 2020 and is currently operated by entrepreneur Danny Garcia, actor Dwayne Johnson, and Redbird Capital Partners. So it'll be interesting to see what he does. So let's see. The other quick one we can discuss, because the last one you shared with me, so I'll leave that one for last, and you can kind of discuss that one. So with the partnership they had with the NFL, it's to scout and train potential players for the season. The XFL has partnered with the NFL Alumni Academy to develop potential players for its return to the field in 2023. The Academy, founded in 2020 and run by former NFL coaches and players, operates on the grounds of the Pro Football Hall of Fame Village in Canton, Ohio, during the NFL season. It's one of several groups that provides training and conditioning work to unemployed players, creating a pool for NFL teams who need injury replacements and are seeking to address depth on their roster. So that's not a bad partnership to have.
Hey, look, put me on the practice squad. I'll be happy. I mean,
so the XFL will collaborate on scouting and training resources, and all players who participate in the academy this season will receive an opt-in contract to join the XFL in 2023. So the UXFL is set to begin its inaugural season Saturday. That was the USFL. So they got theirs going. XFL president Russ Brandon called the agreement a monumental partnership, not only for the XFL, but for the entire football ecosystem. The goal of the partnership, the league said, is to expand player cycles, servicing both the NFL in the fall and the XFL in the spring, which is what I said. A league I would love to see. I said this before the show. Yeah. I would love to see something, whether it's the XFL, it's the USFL. I want to see like a kind of like a farm team or a farm system, or like the minor leagues.
Right. I
So, and
mean,
this kind of does that.
the NBA has the G League, which a
Yeah.
lot of awesome guys have came out the G League and became stars in the NBA.
Yeah.
So
And
yeah.
like, there's nothing wrong with that. So
Yep.
let's see. NFL alumni Academy Executive Director Dean Dalton said that the partnership will have a positive ripple effect across the entire football landscape. Dalton's coaching staff was led in 2021 by former NFL player and coach Mike Tice, and also included Hall of Fame offensive lineman Anthony Munoz,
Remember
All-Pro
Mike
defensive
Tyson.
end Chuck Smith, and longtime NFL assistant coach Jay Hayes, among others. So I think it'll be good for the league. It'll be good to see how this does. The last bit is kind of an interesting one to see because the XFL there's some rumors spreading or some supposed sources are talking about some XFL, USFL stuff, but this was something you brought up or you sent me, so I'll let you kind of take this one.
Basically, it's just The Rock is letting people know I'm paying better than the USFL. I'm paying way more, if not double or even more, a week for players. Hey, you got gas is expensive, houses
Yep.
is expensive, children. Hey, I'll work hard, twice as hard to try and get into XFL, especially if I'm going to get more money and everything. Plus, housing. You got hotels when you're practice or after a game. Where you gonna go? I'm paying for you guys to live in housing. I'm paying for housing, hotels. That's a no brainer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were saying what I got was the XFL's top football executives, Mark Ross, Doug Whaley, and Russ Giglio, told agents the XFL would offer higher salaries and better benefits than the USFL. So
Right.
that you know what it is though. You look at that, and you're like, oh god, why would they do that? It's called competition.
Yep. Yeah.
You got two leagues that are going to be your spring leagues. You got to do something to compete, or one's going to go. If the XFL doesn't,
Right.
what the hell are they going to do? Get the bottom of the barrel players? They're going to. It's not going to win for them.
So
Now,
each of the XFL 8 teams expected to have a 70-man roster with 45 active for games, translating to 560 jobs for players, about 200 more than the current roster limits of the USFL.
Wow, nice. So yeah, that's a big difference because USFL players are receiving $4,500 per week in addition to bonuses if their teams win. Or if their team wins. They also receive subsidized housing during the regular season. The USFL pays $75 towards a daily $150 hotel room rate at the league's on-site location in Birmingham, Alabama. Ross and Willie told agents the XFL salaries will be higher and will include full housing and meal costs during the season.
Feed me.
Yeah, I'm hungry. Coach, sign me up. And I bet you the XFL won't fire somebody if they change their mind on what food they want. Because I'm pretty sure I heard that as well. So they're both leagues are going to have their pros and cons. Obviously, the other issue is the fact that the XFL 8 teams, so they both will have 8 teams. The XFL is going to have a better roster, a bigger roster, much bigger.
Right.
If I recall, I don't think the USFL has a 70-man roster that I'm aware of. I don't even think they're anywhere close to that.
They were running out of tight ends on one team. It was like if this tight end gets hurt, that they don't have a tight end on one of the teams. So
the USFL is owned by Fox Sports. Relaunched with 4 games over 3 days, each broadcast nationally either by Fox, NBC, or one of its secondary channels. And this is interesting. Its opening game Saturday night, simulcast on Fox by Fox and NBC, was viewed or streamed by a projected average of 3 million viewers. That's not bad. I mean, it's not like NFL, but remember, upstart league, new, that's still pretty darn good for an upstart league. Daryl Johnston is their executive vice president of football operations. He said he believed the USFL would be ahead of the curve in any future competition with the XFL. The The only thing you're not ahead of the curve on is the finances, the financial thing for player finances, because obviously the XFL can dip into the Rock's wallet and be like, "Hey, Rock, can you?" Yep, there you go. Thanks.
Hey, it used to be if you didn't make it in the NFL, guess where you go? You go to the CFL. You go up to Canada and try and make a living out there. Now,
Yep.
you can be closer to your families in the
Well,
States.
and the other thing is what I'll be interested in is television partners. We all know that's where the NFL makes a bulk of their money is partnerships with television, advertising, things like that. Obviously, that's the one thing the USFL has the upper hand with. Being owned by Fox Sports, you've got Fox and NBC. So, and Fox Sports, you've got those two partners. I don't know where the XFL is going to go, but I wouldn't worry about it because The Rock could just be like, hey, how about we work out a deal? Come on now. So it wouldn't shock me.
If you got the NFL, backing you up, I'm pretty sure a lot of doors are gonna open up.
I would say we look at it this way: USFL has Fox and NBC. Okay, so maybe the XFL will work out a deal with ABC and CBS. Yeah, put one on. Put a show on Spike. Oh wait, the Spike TV is not a thing anymore. Oh, damn. Aged myself there.
Yeah, you did. There's so many
TBS.
streaming
I mean,
networks.
You got TBS. You got a couple of networks. There's plenty of networks. Yeah,
they'll figure it out.
So the last part we're going to shift to now.
Woo-hoo! Yeah, baby.
The USFL. Jesus, the FCF.
Yeah.
And no, that's not we're not talking government agencies or anything. We are talking the fan-controlled football league 2.0.
You talked me into this. Like, I wasn't even thinking about it. And I said, you brought it up to me. So I said, you know what?
I should have sent you my damn referral code. I should have sent you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share the screen again. I should have sent you my damn referral code.
You guys got to. This is amazing, man. This is
not
a video game, folks. It's not a video game.
When I first heard about it, I swear to God, I thought that's what it was.
No.
They are everywhere. They're on Twitch. They're on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Discord. Some of these I don't know what the hell the logos are. That's probably TikTok. What do we got there? Whatever the hell OpenSea is. Yeah. Let's see. And if you don't know what the F is, FCF, it is pro football reimagined for the modern digital world, which is awesome. I think that's super cool.
I think
real games played in a single high-tech studio arena and streamed live on Twitch. Like that. Oh, and get to call the plays.
Yes.
Scroll down. If we scroll down, we'll show you guys. You read all the exciting new brand of football. Like, that's the biggest thing is get to call the plays. Like, that was what sold me on it. I was leery at first, but I watched last year, and it's freaking awesome. 1 hour games, fast. So it's fast.
It's fast.
Fast, hard hitting. There's no replay, running clock, all action. Like, I mean, that's all I want. I just want a fast paced game, all nonstop action, and just give me everything. There you go.
So here's the teams. You got the Glacier Boys, the Beasts, SB Stars, me, and Aaron's team, the Zappers.
Yes, we are both owners.
Yes, we are owners of the Zappers. Now we got Kingpins, Bored Apes, Knights, and Aoki.
So I will say we have a guy that has been a guest on Sportscast before. I believe his name is Jeff. He's a Canadian Cowboys fan. I don't know what to tell you about, guys. Now, he also coaches football, but it's fantasy, so it doesn't count. This is real football. There's a big difference. Right. So don't let him fool you when he says he coaches winning teams, because his winning team is one and done, just like his Cowboys.
Ouch.
So the cool thing here is it's 7 versus 7, but it's a condensed version of the outdoor game. So you get a 3-man line, a real sideline, and athletes, you get to do it. There's no kicking. There's no special teams, no punts, no goals. You start at your 10 and you drive 40 yards for the score. So it's kind of like, when I thought of that, when I was reading that, I was like, oh, so it's like, oh, God bless it. What's the football game I used to play back? NFL Blitz.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
you get rid of the
There you
kickoff.
go.
That's basically
There
what it
you go.
was.
There you go. But what's cool though is they have the football suits have certain, like, you can monitor that, like, I mean, it's software
It's
controlling the game.
crazy.
It's crazy.
So this kind of just showcases the season 1.0 scored it. Now they're on version 2.0, which is what they decided to call it. You get some fan IQ. You can help draft players. Your fan IQ increases the more you interact with FCF and prove to other fans just how much you know the game. When you hit certain targets of fan IQ, you level up. And as you level up, your voting power increases and all your votes count for more. So the more you interact, the more power you get with your votes. That's what you want to do. They've got badges. There's unique badges. One of the badge bonuses allows you to vote for 2 plays. Like, I mean, it's like they merged video game, like Madden video, and all of the different concepts of video game football and brought it to real life. You've got team powers. I'm just like, what is going on here? There's a power up for a 5th down, power play, flip the field. Like, I'm like, what the hell am I watching? But like, because you get confused. Somebody will throw the power up card and flip the field or something like that, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. But I'm excited because I want to see what the hell's going to happen. Defense is a squad, Doomsday, Steel Curtain, Monsters of the Midway, Orange Crush. Like, I'm just like, I don't even know what's going on anymore. Your offensive line, there's no bandwagon fans. You can't do that. I'm sure people will. The draft and game day, it was live weekly drafts. I didn't get to watch it because I had other things. But you've got every Wednesday on Twitch, you'll be able to vote in a live player draft to build your team's roster. Teams get 2 franchise players selected by the owners, and fans get 1 keeper after the first game. You've got a pre-draft show. They have real-time play calling. That's another cool thing. Amazing. Not only on Twitch, but you can use your phone. If you download the app, you'll see the runner pass when your team is on offense. Drone cams, they got helmet cams and VR for those that like VR. And I like how they throw this in. Madden view from a drone. Live stream helmet cams and mics on the players. 180-degree VR cams all over the field. I mean, this is fantastic. Player entrances like WWE, end zone specifically designed for touchdown celebration.
I saw the entrance when the guys were coming out. I thought that was freaking cool. And then
like, it's like they're putting they are, like they say, we're putting the fun back in football. They actually are. And 100%. Like,
you being a defense player, the field is only 50 yards, so it's not spread out. So there's only where a offense guy can run, and you got the defense players waiting to tackle. This is some awesome football.
Well, and you got lights, you got LEDs, lasers, cryo like a rock. I mean, it's crazy. They've got weekly programming. So you got your drafts, your game days, weekly stuff. Let's talk about practice. So you've got an FC which is joined. So they've got that stuff. There's a players club. There's Monday Madness. Each FCF, 8 FCF players face off each week in a bracket-style Madden tournament live on Twitch. So there's that. There's the fan-controlled show. You get to join a couple of guys Thursdays at 5:30 Eastern on Twitch.tv /FCF. So you get to get up to date with all that. The coaches and players gather for a film session to go over the best and the worst plays from the previous day's games. It's literally crazy. They've got the rule book. We ain't got time for that. No. There's no that outstanding. 1-point and 2-point conversions. Conversions in the FCF are epic. One-on-one battles between a wide receiver and a DB with 3 seconds for the quarterback to throw the ball. 2 points from the 5, 1 point from the 10. Fans choose the matchup. Nice. That's the best thing ever.
Nice.
And it's okay to admit it. Punts suck. Yeah, they do. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You're always in 4-down territory in the FCF, so there's no punts. They've got a partnership overview.
Throwing to Terrell Owens, folks. If you go to the teams,
let's see. Where we got here? Teams. Here we go. We don't care about the other teams. We only care about the Zap team. Squad up. Let's see. Team owners. These are the team owners.
Yes.
Co-owner Bob Menery, Trevor May, Ronnie. And so
look at that, Dalvin Cook, baby.
Woo! So yeah, like it's crazy. So you just register. I'll tweet some stuff out with the code. So here's your players. We don't need to say nothing more. Here's your franchise player, Johnny Football himself, and there's your other guy.
Use a younger picture of me when I played with the Cincinnati Bengals.
I know. I like that. He looks so damn short compared to everyone.
I know, man. Like, who put these pictures?
And you got T.O. And T.O.'s like, here, use my Bengals. Yeah. We're going to use a recent shot of me. So Terrell Owens, obviously, we don't need to say who that is. Wide receiver. Tyus Boykin, wide receiver. Johnny Manziel at quarterback. You got James Harden. Slot receiver. Is that James Harden? I thought he played basketball.
No. If that was, he shaved his beard. He's no longer in his beard.
So that's what he looks like without a beard. Antonio Turner at wide receiver. Laquan Horton at quarterback. Danny Southwick at quarterback. Shunsey Thomas running back. Vance Leonard wide receiver. And then coming soon, you'll have The Wall, which is your O-line, and the heavy hitters at defense. And their season, so they played should have been Stars versus the Zappers. The names are fantastic. 12 points scored, 20 points allowed, 107 yards gained, and 120 allowed. But yeah, I haven't looked at all of the teams to see, but you got the Glacier Boys, the Beast, the SB Stars, the Zappers. The Knights, the Bored Apes, and the Kingpins. Let's see.
What the hell is a Bored Ape, man? What the hell is a Bored Ape?
There. That's a Bored Ape. I don't even know.
Who's the owners of the Bored Apes?
Team owners. Let's meet the owners.
It's the Bored Ape.
They ain't showing nobody.
What the hell?
Do they have a franchise player? I don't even think they do.
Nah.
They don't even have one. All right. We're gonna go back. Let's see.
I like. Teams. You know what? My second team was the Glacier Boys.
All right. Let's look them up.
That was.
You know what? I do like that. I like the poll.
Yeah, that poll. You got the rapper Quavo is one of the owners. Then you got Richard Sherman.
Oh,
and then these are actually Twitch streamers. They're like huge on Twitch.
Oh yeah.
One used to be a kicker. He was a kicker.
Yeah, nice. So they got any big players here? It looks like that's a negative. So it looked like the Zappers are the only ones that really got the two top big stars. So we'll just go down the list here and kind of show you guys everything.
Hey, there's Miro, the WWE. He's a wrestler.
Yeah.
Marshawn Lynch.
I feel like I know who that guy is.
That's Marshawn Lynch. Beast
mode. Miro and Renee Montgomery. She's two WNBA championships.
Player.
Yeah. And their players, they don't really have anybody that I recognize. So, all right. So scroll over it. SB Stars. Let's see. It should have been Stars. I don't mind. I like the logos though.
I was going to be the Glacier Boys, but then, oh man, what?
Yeah, Drewski. Looks like he's a native, an ATL native. Is also a comedian. Co-owner ASM, Altered State Machines. Austin Eckler.
Hey, Austin Eckler.
I feel like I know that name too.
He's a running back, bro.
No. He brings the same grinding style to Gridiron Gaming. His crew of ballers turned gamer streamers on Twitch. You got Drewski and Rachel Lindsay. Yeah. And she found her husband on The Bachelorette. Shout out to, that's something, I guess. Yeah, it looks like I'm leaning towards the fact the only franchise is going to be that they got the franchise players will be the Zappers. We already looked at the Bored Apes. Did we do the Kingpins?
No, you might as well. Dynasty. Yeah. Who's the owner of the
All right,
Kingpins?
There we go. They're not even cool enough to show their faces. Yeah, so they got I don't know anybody there. We did the Bored Apes. Let's check out the Knights. You know what? I kind of like that logo. Not gonna lie. I don't even. I guess they got too many. Damn, that guy right there looked like Kobe Bryant.
I was getting ready to say,
like, what the hell is he doing there?
I'm not going there.
I ain't even gonna say nothing with that, but all right. Yeah. I mean, and Soki. I swear to God, I thought that was an 8, which is why I didn't know what to say. What happens when you mix a world-renowned DJ and an anonymous art dealer that lives in the metaverse? You get a what? It's great. Wow. Yeah. So don't just hop on the bandwagon and jump on our team, the Zappers, right. Just because we got the franchise player. Now they, for those that do the NFTs, they got that stuff, avatars. We'll check out some news. Well, I guess they don't got. I'll stop sharing. We can just go back. Whoop, there we are. Yes. But yeah, they had like I looked on Twitch. I'm gonna look them up again just to see, because I think if I can find. I don't think they're live right now, but. Let's see. FCF. 103,000 followers plus. So when they went, let's see. Yeah, every one of their videos has like at least. Well, some of them have dropped, but the bigger ones, the morning after show had 30.1K views. I would love to have stuff like that. But I would say check it out. It's different, but different in a good way.
You know what? I thought I'd never fall in love with arena football, and I fell in love with arena football. I was a huge San Jose SaberCat fan.
I was a Barnstormers fan.
Hey, shout out! Hey, you had a superstar that started at the.
I know.
Kurt Warner.
I know.
But. Yeah, I love innovation. I love something different, and
that's the biggest thing that brought me to it. It was different. It was out there. It was kind of the innovative thing that just kind of shook things up, and I loved it last year. And I think it's just and the fact that they survived. They're in a second season. Not only that, they got more people. They got another big time player with TO. So. Right. If they can get it done, I think that everybody else can. You go to these sites. They had April 18th, FCF keeper policy heading into week 2 draft. So you can always get new things, and see these things. The Zappers, they got TO. Oh, and he even kept his own jersey number.
Yeah.
You knew he was gonna get number 81. I mean, that was just. But yeah, so they got all kinds of stuff, I think. But like I said, go to the website, download the app to draft your players. Tune in Wednesdays, 7 p.m. Eastern on twitch.com/FCF if you want to know more info about it, or just go to fcf.io to the website and you can sign up for it yourself if you're, that's what you're into. Next week, we will not be live on Tuesday. It's NFL Draft Week.
Woo!
We're actually going to be going live Thursday, right after the Jersey Boys, and we'll be doing our draft updates, and we'll be kind of going over everything, and for the day 1 of the NFL draft. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'll be keeping notes. And I'll be
soda pop.
Yeah, bring the popcorn. Bring your so not like we have our other obligations that we'll be at. Prior to that, we'll be watching Jersey Boys in the background, and then we'll be live over here for Sports Talk 101 on Thursday, and then we'll be back to our regularly scheduled broadcasts, and we'll have to we might actually have to extend our timing to go over NFL stuff and kind of bring in the USFL right now. I think that's the ones, and maybe we'll talk about our Zappers because obviously we're we have some control in that, so we'll talk that. Right. So we might go a little bit longer. We might extend it to 30 minutes past our normal hour slot just to kind of crunch everything together. Right. But yeah, so guys, this has been fun. It's been a blast. Draft is next week. Get your mock drafts together because once the draft is done, it's it's fantasy football time at that point.
Yeah, I'll be working on mine this week.
So, so we'll see you guys next week, and we are out of here.
So long.
All right.